Bonjour, bienvenue sur le plateau d'Informatique News pour ce rendez-vous un peu particulier en partenariat avec IT Press Tour qui réalise sa 45e édition à Paris. Et à cette occasion, nous avons le plaisir de recevoir Thomas Thalmann qui est CEO et cofondateur de Points Software and System. Thomas Thalmann, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to our studio. We're going to start to make a quick presentation of your company because maybe our audience doesn't know you very well. You started the company in 1984. At the beginning, you were involved in the optical disc that don't exist anymore, which is a little surprise because we were having a lot of hope at that time for that kind of technology. Then we were kind of a division of digital equipment, and basically you were involved in storage and mostly in software. So that's what I can tell about your company. Could you give us some detail? And then we're going to explain, the three major solutions and then what's the problem they're trying to solve. So, but first of all, what could you tell it a bit more about your company?
Yes, first of all, thank you for the invitation. I'm happy to be here and to explain our company and our solutions. Yes, it's correct. We are founded in 1994, and at that time we concentrated on archiving software on optical technology. So, but as you mentioned, optical lost acceptance in the market very soon, and we decided to expand our knowledge, what we have in the software area, in the data and storage management area, also to other storage technologies which exist. This is hard disk, this is cloud, this is tape, and also object storage, all these different storage systems. So,
but from day one, you were a software company?
Yes,
okay.
From the beginning, and we are still in a so-called ISV, an independent software vendor. So we are manufacturer of software products for data and storage management, but now independent from specific storage technologies.
So you never went in the appliance market? So no, just selling software per se?
Yeah, so we are a pure software manufacturer. We develop and distribute software products. Of course, this requires partnerships and technology partners, hardware partners, storage partners, resellers, and so on. But our business is developing software products for data and storage management, and just to help customers to create success of their data by efficient usage of data storage. This is the idea we are following.
Okay, that's your goal. Okay, so let's go review the three main solutions you are proposing to the market. So you have Points of Storage Manager, you have Point Archival Gateway, and Point Data Replicator. Those are the three main solutions. So could you give us, not going in detail with each of them, but explain us what you're trying to solve with these three solutions?
So all these solutions have one in common. So the idea behind our solution is that we have an exponential growth of data in the world. So we have digitization, every process. Data is created by humans and more by machines, and we have much more data than ever. So data is processed, is analyzed, but at the end of each process, data has to be stored and archived. All companies have regulations and compliance. They have to store data.
And when you say data, you're mentioning structured data and unstructured data.
Yeah. And our focus is on the unstructured data.
Okay.
So which is the most part of every created data. So we concentrate with our solutions on the exponential growth of unstructured data and how can this data be effectively stored. And that's exactly what we address. So what we do is we analyze data and we can see that data is very fast going cold, inactive. So data is generated, it is used, and after a few months and it is getting inactive and not used. And the problem we have, in most companies, data is stored on the same storage system, which is always very expensive. So we have productive hot data, and we have cold data, inactive data. But everything is on one storage system, which is very expensive. Then we also have backup requirements. We have to make replicates, so we have the same also twice. So, and what we address with our solutions is we identify cold and inactive data and automatically move this cold data to more cost-effective storage. So we help companies to save a lot of money by intelligent data and storage management. And this is the idea behind all these three solutions.
Okay, so this is totally automated, or there is some manual intervention, human intervention in it?
This is totally automated. It is controlled by so-called policies, by rules. So administrators define very simple rules are, if data is not accessed since 2 months, move them to some other storage which is less expensive. Mm-hmm. So this is one simple policy.
But then it could be a lot more complex than that.
Yeah, definitely.
Could you give us an example that's something that could be a little bit more complex?
Yeah, policies can also include expiration policies. So if data has to be deleted after some time, or for example, if data has to be restored to productive systems, everything can be controlled by these policies. But as you mentioned, this is a completely automated process. So companies do not. They can, but it's not necessary to manually control this.
So in other words, you have like primary storage and secondary storage, but when data are not used, regarding the policy you're putting in place, and then you move that to secondary storage, is there any like a third and fourth storage, or it's just primary and secondary storage?
No. It's absolutely correct. You can have multiple layers of storage, so very fast, expensive primary storage. But when you go down in this pyramid, you can have secondary storage, for example, with hard disks, which is still fast. And you can have another layer or another level with, for example, tape systems, which are slower but less expensive. And everything, this is controlled by our management software. We can exactly do this movement, this tiering of data from primary to first level, secondary to archive until to deletion.
And do you give some advice about what hardware to use with all different levels?
So we do not give advice to customers because...
You're just selling a product?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we concentrate on software.
So why are you called software and services?
The services is related to our additional professional services.
I see. Okay.
So we provide support over the lifetime and so on.
Okay.
Yeah. But mainly we are selling software licenses, and of course we have close relationships to storage partners who produce these primary, secondary archive storage. And these systems are also certified by us. They are tested, we have compatibility lists. So, but we do not give recommendations.
Okay.
So customers decide what they want to use.
Are you selling directly to the customer, or do you have partners that do that for you? And if you do, what are these in France, for example?
Yeah, so we as manufacturer of software products, we use reseller partners and distributors. So we don't sell direct to end users, but this is done by our partners because these partners are typically doing the complete solution. They take our software, they take hardware products, it's the secondary storage, and they are selling the complete solution to the end user. So, and they are also the first level of contact, and we are the second level.
So could you give any names of a partner in France?
For example, in France, we work together with Atos. And one of our customers in France is CERFA. They do research. They use our software, I think now since 5-6 years already.
Okay.
So they are very successful. They exactly move cold data to secondary storage and save a lot of money with this approach.
Do you give any figures about how much money you will be able to save with your solutions? Or
no, this is something we let the customers calculate.
But you have proof of it?
Yes, of course, definitely. And we also provide some tools to do an analysis before we are installed. Mm-hmm. So we have some tools which are free for download, and customers can check how much data they can move and how much money they can save this way.
So I suppose at some point you are moving data, but then at some point you delete data, I suppose, because you don't need them anymore. Does your solution include that too?
Yes,
well?
This is included, but this is something which must be specified by the customer. Uh-huh. So it's not done by our software automatically.
Well, right, the customer is responsible for the policy that he's implementing.
Absolutely.
And the interface to do it is pretty simple to do.
Yes.
It's like in French or German, or do you need to know
it's
a
French,
bit of
German,
code?
English. So
but I mean, is it in plain English, or do you have to write some code to implement the policies?
No. Typically, administrators use our graphical user interface. Mm-hmm. In addition to this, we also offer a programming interface. So customers could also integrate this in their processes in their program. But in most cases, our graphical user interface is used to specify the policies.
I suppose with all you just said, you are targeting mostly large enterprise because they need to have a lot of data. What about the cloud? I mean, regarding to what you do, because I suppose all these partners are selling solutions to the cloud provider. Are they a market for you, or you just?
The cloud or cloud storage, we are speaking about cloud storage, is of course from our point of view also one target to move cold data. So we support cloud providers as storage target with our products, and a lot of customers are doing this. At the end, customers have to decide on their own if it makes sense, if it is cheap enough, or if it is better or more efficient to store data locally. But this depends always on the individual project, on the amount of data. And just one remark, we also have customers with smaller amounts of data, because in addition to moving cold data, we also have the archiving aspect. And archiving is also necessary for small amounts. And we fulfill archiving requirements with our software. So it's a perfect combination, tiering to secondary storage, and in addition to tiering, also to put retention policies and warm status on data, so that it cannot be changed and deleted.
So you said you have an agreement with a partner, I mean resellers, software resellers, but do you have direct agreements with cloud provider?
Not direct.
No. And you don't.
No.
You don't plan to have some.
Of course, this is something our software could also run in a cloud environment. This is possible.
It could be a big plus for a cloud provider to use your software and to offer that to their customers.
We also have first discussions with some hyperscalers exactly for this. Uh-huh. But this is, I would say, in the beginning of the discussion.
This is an in-process thing.
Exactly.
So you said you have some French customers, but do you have an office in France? Or?
We don't have a point office in France. Uh-huh. So we, as I said, we try to work with system integrators in the individual countries.
So you don't have any plan to be in France?
In future, perhaps, why not?
What about the US market? Are you there?
Yes, we are in the US market.
Through the partner as well?
Yeah, it's the same. So also in US we have some representatives who are selling our products in the US market, who do the communication with partners and resellers and so on. Yes.
Okay. Well, I think we've covered pretty much what you're doing. Thomas Thalmann, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.